Hello to all. This is Alejandro Bratti and William B. Isley from Unlock Clarity, and welcome to the Spanish World Networks on Single TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the Single TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free and it's available in Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku, and all smart TVs. Today, after a couple of weeks, we are back with this series of programs that we have been doing until now uh, about from surviving to thriving. And really, we would love to hear if you are in any of the social media or if you're listening to this after the show. But you can put a comment in like, okay, how is this going with you? What are the things that are happening with you? For us, it's very helpful to know that how this is helping you in any way in different areas. So from surviving to thriving is a path, and we are in the middle of that path in some areas too, and that's why we believe this is very powerful. So, how are you today, William?
I am doing well. Doing well. You?
I'm doing well too. I was finishing my lunch a minute ago, but I am doing well. I hope that I don't have anything in my teeth.
Doesn't look like it.
So, in the last weeks, we talk about self-compassion. We explore what is the meaning of self-compassion, how to distinguish from self-pity, self-indulgence, and how to start to cultivate it through practices like self-compassion, self-talk, and self-care.
Yeah, we did that. We also looked at how self compassion can help us navigate failures, setbacks with more resilience and grace. We practiced reframing our inner critic's voice to be more supportive and understanding, like a wise coach or friend. Or actually, we would have practiced that if we hadn't run out of time. We will do that today.
So the exploration was really powerful of how we can start to transform our relationship with ourselves. Today we are going to give a lot of examples, but and really at the end there was something that we were discussing even today with William about this show that I believe is going to be very transformative. So wait till the end because you are going to really enjoy it. This relationship that we have is one sometimes of harshness and judgment, and the idea is to move that to kindness and acceptance. Why that is important? Because it's even cultural, not only something that sometimes because it's cultural we accept it and it's the way it is, and it's like we are not even discussing or thinking that there is another way. So this is really powerful, and today the idea is to go deeper on this foundation of self-compassion.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So today, this episode, we want to dive into how self compassion can become a powerful tool for your growth and your transformation. We'll explore how it can help us set and achieve meaningful goals and not from a place of self punishment or shame, from a place of self love and self acceptance. And yeah, once again, our culture doesn't teach us this. So this will be a big deal today.
So self-compassion supports us in navigating challenging uh, relationships, conflicts with other people. And when we are grounded in this, in self-compassion, and we understanding, and we have worked on ourselves here, we are going to be able to communicate our needs better. We can set healthy boundaries and approach even difficult conversation with more clarity and care.
Yes, totally true. Self-compassion is often misunderstood as being soft or weak. In reality, it's an incredible source of strength and resilience. It's going back to last year's series of the masculine feminine, and so I know here in America the uh, feminine energies are seen as weakness. I'm guessing they're that way too in Mexico and most of the rest of the planet too. So then it comes down to when we're able to be kind and understanding to ourselves, we're more equipped to face life's challenges with courage and grace.
And one of the ideas of self-compassion also is how we can embrace any imperfection that we are seeing. I don't really believe that we have imperfections, but maybe with the lenses that we have, we can see them and we are seeing like, yeah, look, but Alejandro, how like there is a lot of imperfections and even vulnerabilities that we know better than anybody else. And those that we see as imperfections and vulnerability, self-compassion can be that light that embrace and cleans all of that situation. Often we try to hide or compensate parts of ourselves that we think it's inadequate and or unlovable. Like, and I am very like specific here. We think that doesn't mean that it's true. It's only our perception or what we think. And when we start to work with this self-compassion, self-love, this part, that starts to give you the true you, who you really are, not the lenses of that is telling you, no, Alejandro, you are so bad because of this and this and this. Like, look, this is the third time that you are doing this. This is, if we start to talk about scenes, for example, that's another part of the culture. Like, oh, this scene is the 10th time this week that you are doing it. So that's why you are so miserable and you can have money or whatever. So those are things that we are going to be talking about.
Yeah. And I'm just going to chase a rabbit here. When this Jesus guy was asked by one of his smartass disciples, like, how many times am I supposed to forgive my brother when he pisses me off? Like 10 times or something? And he pops off with 70 times 7. Like, who's going to count 490 times to go, oh, you pissed me off. This is the 491st time. I don't have to forgive you anymore. Or 471st, whatever it is. And our culture forgets this. All of it. Human culture. And it's just like, we ought to practice that level of forgiveness with ourselves first, and then everyone else. Okay, end of rabbit trace. It's just like the self-compassion part. That's the path to embracing us fully, our full humanity, because most of the times the things that we think are weaknesses that we judge ourselves harshly on, those are our superpowers. And yeah, the humanity part, we're embracing that with all of its beautiful messiness and complexity. It's learning how to love and accept ourselves unconditionally. Oh my God, that is not something part of our culture. Don't freak out on us. It's not despite of our flaws and struggles, it's because of them that we are lovable.
Love that. And there are some examples that we couldn't share last week. And the idea is these examples, we are going to show them with between the critic voice, how and we want you to really listen carefully, like how harsh we are, how judgmental we are, how even catastrophic we are, and that is amplifying our fears, our doubts, and keep us stuck in survival mode. And that's why we are talking about this. and it's part of this from surviving to thriving. That voice that we have inside of us, not even the people outside of us, but we inside, we have this voice being very harsh, very judgmental, catastrophic, telling you all the bad things, and it's amplifying every fear and doubt that we have.
So then, as we're going through these, we might or might not expand on the compassionate part, because we were discussing this earlier. There's no need to talk anymore about the critic's voice part of these examples. We've mastered that skill. Now, here's something that I just realized today. If you think in terms of the old guilds where there's the apprentice, the journeyman, the master, we haven't even realized there's a guild for being self-compassionate. We're not even apprentices in that guild for being compassionate to ourselves and sometimes for others. But then again, I'm more compassionate with others, infinitely more compassionate with others than I am myself sometimes. So we have that.
So the other thing that we want you to notice too is, and this is exactly where we want you to focus. You can listen the critic and listen like, okay, this sounds like me, and that's okay. We don't want you to judge that. Just start to listen carefully. The second part, the compassionate voice, and in that compassionate voice, start to listen like, okay, it's understanding, it's encouraging, it's grounded. How is working with different situations, and that is going to really guide us forward in our journey.
Exactly. Let's start off with self-love. And in that part is physical health. So the critic, you skipped your workout again. You're so lazy and undisciplined. Compassion. It's okay to miss a workout sometimes. Your worth is not defined by your fitness routine. What small step can you take today to nurture your body?
Love that. So listen, the next one, mental and emotional health. And this is critical because this is where the pandemic is right now, in the mental and emotional health. Critic, you are so anxious and depressed. What's wrong with you? Just snap out of it. Like you are critic, like you are anxious and depressed. Like again, you are critiquing yourself. Like that's the critic. The compassion, it's brave of you to face these mental health challenges. You are not alone in this. What support do you need to navigate this with more ease?
It's absolutely wow. So let's move into some of the aspects of self-care. The critic. You don't have time for self-care. There's too much to do. Push through the exhaustion. Bullshit. Compassion part. Self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary. You deserve rest and nourishment. Even small acts of self-care make a difference. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anyone else. I burned myself out multiple times pushing through the exhaustion because I thought I was supposed to. I don't recommend it.
Let's go to the next one. Critic. Your house is a mess. You can keep it anything organized. What a failure. The compassion. I live in a live-in home is a sign of a full life. Let's tackle one small area at a time and celebrate each step forward.
One of the challenges is celebrating each step forward. We don't even freaking know how to do that. So yeah, it's a learned thing. Wealth, work and career. Critic, you're not advancing fast enough in your career. Others are doing better than you. Compassion, everyone's path is unique. You're making progress in your own way. what skills or support could help you move forward with more confidence. You know, I just realized we ought to have changed this you shit to me, because that's what I'm saying to myself. We'll fix that next time. Sorry.
Let's put it again, like this contribution and purpose. I am not making a big enough impact. My work is insignificant. Every contribution matters, no matter the scale. I am making a difference in my own way. Keep following what makes me feel alive.
Money. I'll never be financially secure. I'm not good with money. So, the compassion part. Managing money is a skill I can learn. I'm taking steps to improve my financial health. I just need to be patient and keep learning. I like this. This is more gooder.
Yeah, it sounds much better, more richer. So intimacy, and remember, we have talked about this in several of the programs. When we are talking about intimacy, we are talking into me, I see. Into me, I see. So, critic, you are too much. If people really knew you, they will reject you. I can't tell you how many times I have said that to myself in the past, not now, but in the past. Compassion, you are authentic self. Your authentic self is a gift. You are worthy of love and belonging exactly as you are. Keep courageously showing up.
Feeling and expressing love. Critic. I'm not good at relationships. I always mess things up. Compassion. Relationships are a place to learn and grow. I'm doing my best to love and be loved. I will keep opening my heart and communicating my needs.
Adventure and passion. The critic, I am too old, young, or busy to pursue my passions. It's too late or risky. The compassion, my passions are a part of me. It's never too late to explore what lights me up. Start small, and I will enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. So, play and growth hobbies. The critic. I'm not talented enough. My hobbies are a waste of time. Compassion. Hobbies are for joy, not perfection. I will engage in what delights me, and my skills will grow naturally, because every master was once a disaster.
In learning and creativity, we can have this critic saying, I am not creative or smart enough. Others are way ahead of me. In the compassion, everyone starts as a beginner. My unique expression matters. I will embrace the joy of learning and creating one step at a time.
Now, tribe and adventures, family and friends. Critic. I'm a bad friend or family member. I'm not there for them enough. Compassion. I'm human with human limitations. I'm doing my best to show up for my loved ones. I will release the guilt and keep reaching out.
Belonging and celebration. I don't fit in. I am always on the outside. Yeah. And really, why belonging in is important, because that's one of the things that every human is looking for. I want to belong. And that's the reason of a lot of the things and the situation that we have. The compassion. I belong, even if it doesn't always feel like I belong. I will keep seeking my tribe and celebrating my authentic self. My people is out there.
That was truly powerful.
So now we are going to start to talk about another, well, part of this topic, but how we can manage failure or setback. And this is one of the most important times to practice self-compassion is exactly when we are facing a failure or setbacks. That's exactly the moment that you need to do it, not start to push and critique yourself. It doesn't matter if it's a business venture or it's something that you are doing in your health, a meet, parenting, any area. Normally, our automatic response, and that's why we were talking about this culture thing, is beat ourselves.
Yeah. And this can be some other series that we look into. A place that I'm walking through now is how does our language structures teach us to re-victimize ourselves, sometimes every minute, every day, every hour, whatever. It's amazing. So we have to remember that the inner critic loves to capitalize on these moments, saying things like, I'm a failure, I'll never succeed, I'm a terrible entrepreneur, parent, partner. This self-flagellation can feel like we're holding ourselves accountable. In reality, it backfires.
And that's exactly why we are talking about this. Again, that's keeping us in survival mode. Just because we are this self-flagellation, everything that we are doing. So when we are harsh with ourselves, we are undermining our resilience and motivation. And it's like, why I need to listen to a lot of motivational speakers? Yeah, because you have been eliminating that part in yourself with all this self-critic. I am not saying that we is it's not okay. It's awesome that we have a lot of motivational speakers, but normally we need it as humans because we are uh, like very harsh with ourselves. Um, we get stuck in shame, self-doubt, which can lead to procrastination, avoidance, or even giving up completely.
Yeah. Self compassion, on the other hand, is like a supportive coach after a tough game. It acknowledges the disappointment and maintains belief in our potential to learn and grow. It says, that was challenging. I gave it my best. What can we learn from this to improve next time?
And that is a really good analogy. Like it's like in business, a compassionate leader doesn't berate their team for a failed project. They debrief. Let's see what happened. Like really, what happened. Let's celebrate what went well and strategize on how to do better moving forward. We can apply that same approach to ourselves. We can do it with teams, but when we are talking to ourselves, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, Alejandro, but I am going to be bad if I do that. So no, start to listen to your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself?
Exactly. What I'm hearing is that our level of self love and self worth often sets the boundary for how much mistreatment we tolerate from ourselves. If we have low self esteem and a harshly judgmental inner critic, we're more likely to accept poor treatment because, on some level, we believe we deserve it.
Wow. And that for me is like when I heard that part, it's like, okay, that was directly to the heart. Like, wow. And it's exactly like the old adage is we teach others how to treat us. What we often don't realize is that the way we treat ourselves sets the foundation for those lessons. If we regularly put ourselves down, dismiss our own needs, or believe we are not unworthy of respect, others will follow and believe it's okay.
And this is where self-compassion comes in. When we practice treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, we start to internalize a sense of inherent worthiness. We begin to believe on a deep level that we deserve care and respect, both from ourselves and from others.
That's right. Really, as our self-compassion grows, our capacity to set healthy boundaries and advocate for our needs start to grow. We are less likely to tolerate mistreatment because it feels dissonant with the way we are learning to treat ourselves. And that's, for me, that only that part is. We can finish the program. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, definitely. So, in a sense, self-compassion is a form of self-protection. By caring for ourselves, we naturally begin to expect and invite that same level of care from others. And when someone crosses a line, we're more equipped to speak up, assert our boundaries, and even walk away if necessary. Sometimes that's the most challenging part, is as we come up and those around us are not, we have to make tough choices sometimes.
And really, this is important because normally we are like, and I have heard like and helped a lot of people like asking like, I don't know how to set boundaries. I don't know where to put boundaries. I am not sure if I need to put it. If I put it, I will lose that person. Like all these things that come to our mind, like if I put a boundary when in the conversation with William because I will lose William. So it's okay to have some mistreatment because I don't want to lose him. And that's like all the self-talk that we have inside. And the problem with that is William, and I am just putting an example here, but he's going to start to mistreat me because it's okay. I continue accepting it and it's okay. And I can even be attracting that because it's okay with me. It's like that's exactly how I feel and how I am treating myself. So that's why it's important to know this is a process. It's not going to change like automatically, but the idea today is to have awareness. You are developing awareness that this self-talk that you have, this self-critic that you have, this guy that is talking inside of your head, telling you all the bad things that you are doing, needs to be turned off, and you can do it, and you can take control of that by using self-compassion, by using self-love. Um, Especially if we have any history on trauma or chronic self-judgment, we like learning to stand up and start to put boundaries. We are at the beginning, it's scary and it's okay, but doing that is going to get easier each time, and you are going to start to feel the respect, and you are going to show respect to others because of that.
Yes. And I was reminded of a phrase here in America 40 years ago. There used to be a cartoon called G.I. Joe. And at the end of each episode, they would end it with, and knowing is half the battle. And so, in terms of the awareness, something I learned in therapy decades ago was if I don't own something, I can't give it away. If I don't know I'm doing something, I can't change it. And so, all of this begins with awareness, just learning to see it and not judge it. And so then, this is where a self-compassionate approach is absolutely essential. when we face setbacks in learning to set boundaries, which happen. They're going to happen. Self-compassion helps us to reframe it as a learning opportunity rather than proof that we're broken or unworthy. Because remember, FAIL is an acronym. It means first attempt in learning. Self-compassion says, setting boundaries is hard. I'm doing my best. All I need to do is keep practicing and trust that I'm worth protecting. Oh, no, that's a big one.
And I will even change that phrase to like setting boundaries is important. More than hard, because I don't want to program myself thinking that it's hard and it's going to continue being hard. So I'm
Wait.
going to change it to setting boundaries is important. I am doing my best. I will keep practicing and trust that I am worthy of protection. So
Great.
that's the key of what we are doing now. It's like it's completely important. Setting boundaries will start to show the world that you are worthy, that you are reliable, that you are really the person that you are saying. People will respect you more.
That's a perfect example of cultural programming. I didn't even notice that. Great catch.
Exactly. So stopping this part of hard. Yeah, it's hard. I agree. No, it's not hard. Why it has to be hard? It has to be easy. But when you start to work with the self-love and self-compassion, that's why it become easy. Uh, so to summarize, our self-love and self-compassion form the foundation for the treatment we accept from others. By practicing self-kindness and cultivating a sense of worthiness, we naturally begin to set healthier boundaries and invite more respectful treatment. And it's like how I can do to others to respect me. Start to respect yourself. Start to have self-compassion. Start to have self-love. What are you doing to respect yourself? That is going to become a profound ripple effect that starts with the way we relate to ourselves.
That is beautiful. This insight totally underscores how transformative self-compassion can be. It's not just for our relationship with ourselves, it's for all of our relationships. As we said, it's the foundation for everything. When we learn to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, it radically shifts the way we engage with the world.
And let's start. Now we are going to talk about this failure and recovery. Let's explore some examples to reframe failure and recovery across different areas in life. In business, a setback can feel like a ship hitting an iceberg. With self compassion, we can see it as a chance to patch the hole, adjust the course, and sail on the new wisdom.
And in personal life, a mistake can feel like a shattered vase. Self compassion is the art of kintsugi, a Japanese concept. I think it's Japanese, could be Chinese.
Yes, in Japanese.
Okay. Mending the cracks with gold and embracing the imperfections as part of the beauty.
And it's incredible to see that, like what they do with these vessels. It's amazing. For health, a lapse in a diet or exercise plan can feel like falling off the wagon. With self-compassion, we understand that progress is not a straight line. We dust ourselves off and gently climb back on, realizing our well-being isn't dependent on one single lapse.
So, do we want to tackle this next section?
I think that yes, we have. Feel like 15 minutes.
Excellent. Okay. So then, how do we actually speak to ourselves with compassion in these moments? It's a practice of catching the critic and consciously shifting to a more supportive inner voice. And when I say catching the critic, it's sometimes in that headlock, that shutting the critic up and consciously shifting. Sometimes that's what the inner struggle feels like.
Yeah, exactly. Let's role play an example. Imagine you're an entrepreneur whose launch didn't go as planned. What do you think the critic is going to tell you? You're a failure. This business will never work.
And a compassionate response could be, launching is always a risk. I did my best with the information and resources I had. This does not define my worth or potential. What can I learn from this experience to pivot and try again?
Or let's say you're a parent who yell or at your child, the critic berates. I am a terrible parent. I am scarred them for life. I have scarred them for life.
And compassion counters with, parenting is another job, a full-time job. And sometimes I lose it. It's okay for humans to make mistakes. I can apologize, I can reconnect, and I can recommit to managing my triggers. My child needs my love, not my perfection.
And the key here is to speak to yourself as you will do to a dear friend facing the same struggle. Like you have that friend, and you are not going to start to be as critical as you are with yourself. You are going to be understanding. You are going to connect with the empathy, the encouragement, and remind yourself of your humanity and worthiness.
And not just the worthiness, but the inherent worthiness that comes with the fact that you're on this planet. Mic drop.
Love that.
Then, with practice, this compassionate voice becomes stronger and more automatic. Remember, every master was once a disaster. It's tiny steps. It doesn't mean that we don't take responsibility or that we don't strive to improve where we are. It simply means that we do these things from a place of acceptance and growth, and not from shame and self-punishment.
So self-compassion is the foundation of true resilience. When we know we have our own back, we are more willing to take risks, face challenges, and bounce back from setbacks. We trust our capacity to learn, adapt, and ultimately succeed on our own terms. And that's the reason of this whole program.
Absolutely.
And we want to say hi to Shanae. She wrote, happy to see such a good show. Thank you for connecting, Shanae, and love hearing from you. She's writing from South Africa. That's amazing that you're listening from South Africa. Awesome. So, William, what a transformative exploration of self-compassion today. We cover a lot today, from understanding what self-compassion means and how it differs from self-pity and self-indulgence, to cultivating it through practices like self-compassion, self-talk, self-care, and managing this, like transforming this inner critic to really a compassionate critic, if we can say it like that.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, though, with my own energy work is the inner critic oftentimes isn't even us. It's somebody else that we've made an energetic copy of, and they're in the background. And it's, in my case, it was 5, 10, 20 different voices all masquerading as me. It could have been my dad, it could have been my mom, a good friend, a past partner, a whoever, and they're not me. And yet I let them beat me down and berate me. And so that just had to throw that in there, because in the exploration of how self-compassion can be a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation, this helps us navigate challenges and embrace our imperfections and pursue our goals from a place of self-acceptance and self-love.
Yes. And one of the key takeaways for me was how self-compassion is essential for building true resilience. When we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we are better equipped to bounce back from setbacks, learn from failures, and keep moving forward with courage and grace.
Courage and grace. Love it. Self-compassion is not about being soft or indulgent. It's about having our own back, believing in our potential, and extending ourselves the same care and encouragement that we would a dear friend. It's a practice of embracing our full humanity with all its beautiful messiness and complexity.
So, wrapping up what we have talked today and this powerful exploration, we want to give you 5 concrete action steps, like we always do, to continue cultivating self-compassion in your daily lives. These practices can help shift your relationship with yourself from one of harshness and judgment to one of kindness and acceptance. And just think about kindness and acceptance, nothing else. There is a lot of other things, but now and in this step, if you have been beating yourself for years or decades, okay, start to talk about kindness and acceptance. How I can accept this? I have this voice talking to me. How I can be kind with myself.
Yeah. Number one, catch your inner critic. And like I was saying before, sometimes it's that headlock. Start noticing when your inner critic shows up, especially in moments of difficulty or failure. Here's a game-changing activity. Write down what it says. And then, if you need to, ask an AI friend how it would rephrase this to be more kind, compassionate, whatever. Then in practice responding with a more compassionate and understanding voice. I love that write it down part. Because if it's out of your head, it's not running around in there anymore.
No, and the other thing that happens with that is when you are writing, you can start to notice how harsh you are with yourself. Normally, no, I am not that harsh, Alejandro. I don't know what you are talking about, all of this. I am not that harsh. But when you write it, it's like, oh my God, how I can tell that to myself. I can say that to others, but I am saying it to myself. So that's, for me, that's why the reason of writing it is very powerful, because it starts to lose the power that it has on you. That's maybe the most powerful thing. The second step that we want to talk is practice self-compassion, self-talk, and start to create phrases. Start to create phrases that are self-compassionate or affirmations that resonate with you. And even if they don't resonate with you right now, because you are being too critical to yourself, start to create ones like, you create a mantra like, I am doing my best, I am worthy of love, I belong, this will pass. Like all of these things that maybe you don't feel it, but you are telling to your subconscious that, and you start to have this self-talk of not critic, but even like I know that there is a lot of people fake it until you make it. I don't believe on that. I am not saying that you fake it until you make it, but start to believe those phrases like they are real. Start to even breathe like not only like, yeah, I am doing my best. I am worthy of love. No, put yourself in front of a mirror and start to put emotion like, I am doing my best. I am worthy of love. And I start to feel it like, and if you need to repeat it 10 times, do it.
Absolutely. That was one of the sea change moments that my therapist gave me was uh, yeah, it's like write a list down and say it to yourself in the mirror. That was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. And I grew up on a farm with cows and horses and stuff. Number 3, prioritize self care. Create a daily self care practice that nourishes your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual well being. This could include activities like meditation, journaling, exercise, spending time in nature. No, investing time in nature. You're not wasting your time out there. Connecting with loved ones. Remember, self care is not selfish, it's necessary for building resilience and showing up fully in your life.
The 4th point is remember that we told you that I don't believe that we are imperfect. I believe that we are really perfect the way we are. But I know that that doesn't mean that I don't see myself as imperfect. So even if you see yourself as imperfect, embrace that imperfection. Challenge yourself to share your struggles, your flaws, and vulnerabilities with others that you trust. And why this is important? Because that imperfection is going to lose power over you. That's the key here. This could be a like heart-to-heart conversation, a creative project, social media post. I don't know, something that you have and you want to allow yourself to see and accept. Like, okay, this is who I am. I forgot to wake up today and run outside because I wanted to sleep half an hour more. It's okay. Maybe I can see it as an imperfection. And you will be like, okay, but you run the last 5 days. So why you that is an imperfection? It doesn't matter. If I see it as an imperfection, it's an imperfection for me. Embrace it and enjoy even that part in you.
Absolutely. Number 5, self compassion accountability. Find an accountability partner or join a self compassion support group. Stay committed to your practice. Regularly share your successes, struggles, insights, and celebrate each other's progress. Remember, you're not alone. We're all going through it.
So cultivating self-compassion is an ongoing practice, not a destination. Be patient and kind with yourself as you learn and grow. Small, consistent steps can lead to profound transformation over time.
Yep. So thank you for joining us on this journey of self compassion. We believe in your capacity to embrace your full humanity, navigate challenges with grace, and thrive in all aspects of your life. Keep shining your light.
And next week, we are going to talk about how to craft declarations, not only affirmation, but declarations. So that is going to be very powerful. Please remember to join. It's going to be at the same time in the same channel. So thank you everyone for being here with us. Thank you, William, for today's program. Thank you, Shanae, for the hello. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and leave it. Thank you all. See you next week. Bye.